All right, what up? So I'm gonna try to make this fast because I don't have a whole lot of time, or maybe I what? I have a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna pull this up here, get a little close up. Maybe I'll just have to start again. No, I think I'll just stay right here. Push that out of the way. All right, so this is the oldest painting I have that I'm gonna show, and this looks like a wreck, doesn't it? I mean, it's just like ah. It's because it's not finished. And this, I say, is the oldest painting I have, yet it is a work in progress. So, why is that? Is because this is an old painting that I made in 1996, I think. 90, summer of 96, I'm thinking. Yeah. Like before my junior year at SVA. And this I painted at my boy Dave Mamo's studio. Actually, I guess it was Amy Candel's studio in Rutherford. Her family owned this warehouse, and they had studios in there, and they invited me just to come and take a space and do some work there one summer. It was sort of like out of the blue and unexpected, and I was totally thankful. And I made some really good paintings there. This you see the yellow underneath, that was the original ground, and then like over here was some like, you can see there's a bit of it right there, that tiny little bit of light blue. Here's some showing through. It was this like curly Q type abstract slash graffiti-ish, um, lines, bands, whatever. And then like the ground, which was yellow, I kind of did, and it's funny, I did this way back when, and I still kind of do this, which is like I would have a generic abstract painting as my ground. And it was like, I don't know what it was like, if I was trying to do a Barnett Newman, but it was yellow, and there was this like streak of white that went down, and there's the last of it. It went right here, and I see the last of it way down here, and you can hardly see it, but I know it obviously. And then so you had the squiggles, you had the abstract expressionist type looking, oh my god, this line is just means so much and it's so serious. And then what I had underneath all of this new stuff was like a painted drawing of 3 aloe plants that I had on my windowsill where I lived at once, on 76 Suffolk Street, and they were there. And I don't think you can see any remnant of the drawing, the drawing with paint of the 3 aloe plants. It was like when I was in a like paint like David Sally kind of time in art school, which is sort of embarrassing. But you know what? I did it. I did it well. Like the drawings were informed. Like they weren't like totally naive. They were somewhat. You could see I had a base of drawing ability, and they were loose, just done with a brush, single color, boom. I thought that was real hip and like immediate, and like, of course, everything at the time I did was just incredible. So like fuck, I thought it was great. Anyway, so I'm here at my dad's. Fuck, here comes the talking part where I went from New York, living in New York, going to school, and by the time 2006 came around, I was sort of burned out. I had lived up in Portchester for like 2 years, and came back to the city, lived in Brooklyn again, ended up in Greenpoint, not Greenville, North Carolina. And I left the city, became a truck driver, moved to North Carolina in the sticks, eastern North Carolina, and now eventually came COVID and all this shit, and I started getting back into art much more intensely, and decided I'm moving back up to New York. That was my plan. But and here I am. I'm at my dad's in Ridgewood, New Jersey, where I grew up. And this is not the house I grew up in, but this is his girlfriend's house. And he still lives in Ridgewood. And I came back to move here to live. And I thought I was going to be here for like a month, maybe 3 months tops, because the plan is to get a teaching job, and that would, be how I pay the bills while I make paintings. Obviously, I've been making paintings for a few years now, consistently, like full time, like basically since COVID. So that's about 3 years, 2.5 years. I've been very consistent, productive, blah, 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 making oil paintings, pretty labor intensive oil paintings, and accomplishing a lot, relative to the time between 2006 and 2019, or even 16 or 17, I really started back. But anyway, been so much more productive than that period because I couldn't focus on anything because I never really finished anything, and like it was just sucked. Finished a couple paintings during that period, and Mike Cobbin owns like 2 of them. But anyway, so now I'm here because I'm moving up to Jersey. Thought I was going to move to New York, ended up moving to Jersey, got a job teaching. I'm teaching in Patterson now. I've been here about 6 months now. I'm about to move to my freaking studio apartment. It's not a studio apartment. It's a big apartment that will have my studio in it. And that's in Patterson. And tough things happen. They don't let me have a dog. A dog's got to be 20 pounds or less. I mean, they told me dogs were good, and I wanted the apartment. I went through the whole process. And the day I'm supposed to pay the rent and sign the lease, they're like, oh, well, you can't have the dog there. And I'm just like, fuck. So, like, I'm trying to rehome my dog because I'm losing my mind here, staying at my dad's house. Love my dad, but, it's how it is. I'm 53 years old. I thought I'd be here for like a month, 3 months tops, but getting a job took a lot longer than I expected. I got here in March, and it's, beginning of September. I got my job in July, but I couldn't get an apartment because, I needed proof of earnings, whatever. So I worked while I was here. I did a lot of work. And this stencil business is what is a new thing. I never did it before. And this is not a great example of it, though you can see a lot. Yes, you can. It is a good example. But it's just a bad example because I'm it's in progress and it's sort of unresolved. And this video may be very long. So anyway, there's these stencils of my drawings. I do drawings on paper. And then what I would normally do is I would make oil paintings, and they would, I'd make a ground of maybe an abstract, generic abstract painting, maybe some funky abstract graffiti type stuff, maybe just, I don't know, some blended colors, maybe some brushy, gestural type of abstract work. I do different various kinds of grounds onto which I would draw those drawings. As you can see, there's one here. There's a pretty good example of one in this little section here. And instead of drawing them, I cut them. I put the Frisk film on top of the drawing, and I cut them, and then I put them on the canvas, and then I spray paint them. And then I would come in with enamel or oil paint and kind of do an outline here and there that connected all this stuff, and the random stuff of the lines that happens is like sort of like a surrealistic type thing. Like, you're chancy. You don't know what happens. You're not really exactly sure what's going to happen. And then, just by natural fucking being in the studio and working all the damn time and just having a sense, like, they usually work out, and if they don't work out, just keep going, add more layers. And eventually it's going to build up to something really good. So this is very much in progress. I think I will probably go into this with a line. You see this last color is the silver that I did. Actually, I did a little white spray around the silver. I think I might come back into this with a line, but I probably most definitely will put another stencil and some more spray paint. So basically it's a back and forth thing. do the background painting. In this case, the painting was already done. I just took an old painting and I made it a new one. And I'm going to do that with a bunch of these. I have a bunch more that I'm going to do them with too. And that's no shame. I'm very, very happy with the way these are working. I'm going to get some lines in here and then probably another big stencil, finish it off with some more lines, outlines and lines that don't make sense, that go different directions, not just straight outlines, blah, blah, blah. So this is, I don't have a name. This used to be called aloe plants. So maybe I'll just continue to call it aloe plants because why not? It's already titled. That way I don't have to think about a title because I've been kind of struggling with titles since I've moved to this type of painting, which was originally oil paintings underneath. You see all the oil painting. This was actually a painting that I did post on Instagram. I think I called it push and pull. P&P is what I called it because it was an abstract painting, very sharp edges, no outline, and it was all about the push and the pull of the paint. Like one drawing was on top of another. They were different colors, so those lines, the edges of each drawing was real sharp, and then the edges on the outside were real sharp and perfect, or close as I could get to perfect, which is, anyway. And I didn't like the painting. First of all, it was on a white ground. I'm talking about a painting you can't even see, but if you go and look at my Instagram, it's called P&P. I think I have two versions of it because the first one I did was white background, and the white was turning yellow, pissing me off. So what did I do? I covered the ground with brilliant yellow, jaune brillant, whatever the heck it is. It's like that kind of dull. It's funny. It's called brilliant yellow or yellow jaune brillant, whatever. And it's really kind of dull. But I don't give a fuck because I liked it. But something about this paint, I got it from Bob Doak. And you guys heard of Bob Doak made paints. He was fantastic. But then towards the end of his little run there, his stuff got really inconsistent. Just chemically, molecularly, whatever. The structure of the paint itself was not as consistent. And this fucking paint never dried. That fucking jaune brillant, it was wet for like 2-3 months. And I just got so sick of it that I just smeared off all the yellow and I started a new painting. I started a new painting of these drips down here. And the theme was about water. Obviously, water is a fantastic theme. And for me, it represents fucking everything. Like basically God, like the ocean, okay? So basically, you're all one, right? We're all one. Consciousness is one. You might say, oh, I'm not one. I'm me. I'm myself. I'm separate from you. And that's basically like you're a wave, right? You're a wave. But can you separate the wave from the water? No, you can't. So there's nothing but water. And the wave is nothing but a name and form. So that was the subject of this. Basically water representing a, spiritual reality of there's nothing but consciousness. So that's the water theme. There is no waves. There is no bubbles. There's no foam. It's only water. So to think you're something other than pure consciousness, oh, I'm me. I'm this person. I'm this personality. I'm this ego. It's like, no. Those are just names and forms for what you really are, which is, just pure consciousness. Anyway, so that's the subject of this. This is very much the pure consciousness. Oh, there's drops of water. And these are the waves. Yes, I painted waves. Painted these kind of cartoony looking waves. I painted them solid, different colors, red, orange, and yellow. Or, red, orange, yellow, golden yellow. And then you got some turquoise, light blue. And then I painted the those concentric ellipses there that represented, obviously more water. It's just waves of the water rippling out, and then that was where I stopped. And that was in North Carolina. I did all that work. I brought this painting up here. Didn't know what I was going to do with it. I thought I would continue with oil painting, just the way I started it. But since I had been here, I started my stencil paintings. That's what I call them. The last example is one that, shoot, was an oil painting a long time ago, and now it's also a stencil painting. And this, I put this stencil on here, and I got a video up here on YouTube of, I think, if I don't, I'm going to repost it because I put it on my story on Instagram. But, you know, this little cutout stencil right over this concentric, you know, elliptical ripple image came out really well with this rainbow kind of colors. The edges are real sharp. I've struggled with Frisk film. It drives me crazy. It doesn't stick to shit, and it drives me nuts. But I like it. I still use it. So now I have not worked on it since I did. I put a little bit more white in the ellipticals here. And I think did I go over this white? No, I didn't. Anyway, and this is one of my drawings here. Underneath that is like some generic, but very much my style of brushing and line work. So this, I don't know. I guess I could just call this water, you know? Why not? I'm going to call this water. And it's going to be finished, and it's got a little bit more work to do. I got to clean it up and make certain things step up. These two little characters on the bottom, you know? And those represent, to me, it's a little bit of a game I play with my fucking subject and what I paint about. Those are basically, you know, Atman. Those are individualized consciousness. Like each person, your true self is your Atman. Is Atman. The Atman. Your Atman. Everybody has an Atman, but Atman is Brahman. So Brahman is one. We experience it individually. So this is an image. These two are down here represent one of the infinite souls or Atman in our physical universe, because they're not in pure. The Atman is the pure consciousness that comes and represents and has the name and form of a person, and so those are the two, you know, and the people exist in Maya, but these images that I make, those are a visual representation of the ultimate reality of, you know, pure consciousness, which is ridiculous. Of course, I know that, because how could something without qualities look like anything? It just does, okay? And it's because I make art, and these are graffiti influenced drawings, and the whole shit just comes together, and it's my understanding, and it makes sense. All right, next. So quickly, I will put another large painting up, and then we'll go to the smaller paintings. Actually, maybe we'll go, just really quickly, I'm not going to dwell on this one too long, but this is Sri Ramakrishna. This is Bhagavan. And it is early. I've only painted on this thing twice, and it's early, and I like how it's coming out so far. This is a painting that's going to be in my shrine, and I saw I think it was on one of the Vedanta videos with Swami Savapriyananda. He was at, I think, the Vedanta Society in Santa Barbara or something, and then behind, their shrine, they had a big painting of Sri Ramakrishna, and of course I wanted to do that, and it's a form of bhakti, praise of creating the art, of Avatar. So we're there, and that's enough. I'll talk about this, you get it. And I love it, and I'm not ashamed. Why would I be ashamed? But I'm not worried that, oh, look at Sinclair, oh, look at Mr. thinks he's so spiritual and all. Yeah, I do. I do. This guy's fucking, it's okay, All right, so now we'll come to more, what's going on now. These ones are pretty big. I'll start with the vertical ones just because the camera's set up for vertical. These are painted on some thin pieces of plywood. And I think I'll move up a little too, maybe. These are stencil paintings. And you can really see that. I think that's as far as I'll go because I'm starting to cut the bottom. Maybe I could elevate it a little. But you can see what's going on here, I think. And that is, I have my graffiti face there, which is Joni. Yeah, I'm Joni. That's me. The fuck, you know what I mean? What am I worried about? Is the police gonna come fucking arrest me for the graffiti I've done? You know, I don't know. Maybe they will. Highly doubt it. I don't know. I don't really fucking care, to be honest with you. Like, you know, I know a lot of graffiti writers are very conscious about hiding their faces, but not me. I don't give a fuck because I'm really no king. You know, I'm no big time graffiti writer, never was. I was always kind of out there. Maybe some people knew me. Joni 907. Obviously, everybody knows 907. Now, that's a whole fucking different story. But, you know, Joni, yeah, some people know me. Some people don't. I don't fucking care. I wrote, and now I'm back writing again. I'm fucking 53 years old. I started when I was 52. Again, back up here in Patterson in Newark. I'm getting up. I got some ups in New York already. I'm not like fucking, no, I'm not a fucking king. But I fucking write graffiti still. Anyway, and this is the face, the Joni face, which is the O in Joni. And then this is my skull, which is my Steal Your Face skull, my personal. You can see it's kind of double imaged. And, you know, you got the 907s because I fucking represent 907. And 907 is art history. I hate to tell you all. 907 changed graffiti. And if graffiti is fucking part of art history at all, which it is, you know, let's fucking like stop with this separation of art from graffiti. And I get it. I understand why. Okay, well, you're making letters. It's like almost like a commercial art or a graphic art. It serves a purpose. You know, you're putting your name and it's only letters. It's limited. Blah, blah, blah. I get it. But 907 changed fucking graffiti. 907 and UFO changed graffiti. Changed it to the point where that kind of alternate graffiti style is now just the graffiti style. Everybody's doing like that kind of shit. It's no more like wild style and like fucking dandy and scene and shit. It's like, it's fucking just goofy ass shit of artists that go out there and they write in the streets and they come up with that. Yes, they got a connection to the old school skills and like kind of classic styles and techniques. I'm actually a bit more classical than most of the dudes in 907. They're more, you know, different and you know, coming unique with their styles. And I think I'm unique, but you know, I might have a stronger connection to more, you know, traditional graffiti styles. Not saying like that's great or anything. Maybe it's not a positive thing on my part, but I don't really care because I do what I do and I'm not gonna fucking change it. You keep doing what you do. And this is that. So I'm feeling this. This has some work to do, but I like how these overlays are going. I'll give you another vertical one like this on this I think I don't know, because the other two are horizontal and I'm not sure I have a great way to show the horizontal work. And here we got the two Joni heads, and inside here is my other tag, which I don't really put up too much. It's Glover. I'm like two writers. I could also be fucking Craze and fucking Slob and Loser, like all these names. I got all these names, but Joni is my name. So I don't want to fucking dilute it, but I'm going to start putting Glovers up out there once I start, you know, once Joni is really established again. Now, yeah, a lot of overlay, a lot of layers in this, of stencils. Here on this, very cool. I could use fucking masking tape and just cut right into this fucking wood. Can't do that with canvas and Frisk, you know? Or masking tape on canvas, because you cut right through the fucking canvas. And this, and it's like, I'm going to take these, I think I might even put them together. These two, and then I have another two that are horizontal, the same size. And maybe they might even be in the same piece. I'll like build a frame that holds them all together. And I don't give a fuck about these cracked, rough edges and shit. I don't. This one's like warped from water damage. Who the fuck cares? It's fucking art, and you can hang it on your wall, and it's fucking dope. You know, not just like graffiti dope. It's like insane. Like it's got so much a mixture of different shit going on. Here's one of the horizontal ones. Can't really see it. It's way down here. I'll just like, I don't know. It's got all the shit. And this one has, you know, Joni, this is my older style, which was when I started back in like 93. I was like fucking doing shit like that. And anyway, you know, I don't need to show too much. Here's another one real quick. And this one is, they're all in progress. None of these are finished. So, but I dig what's happening here. This one's actually got my Joni in cursive underneath and in a rainbow blend. And then we got the stencil here. We got a spray here. And this is going to be hot. This whole group of 4 is going to be hot. And I'm ready for it. So, next. Yes, 907 is art history. It's fucking changing art. Because it changed graffiti. And therefore changed art. So, let me throw some of these smaller stencil paintings up here. Giving you a lot in this little video. Let's see. It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know what these, I was calling these, I started doing these stencil paintings. This one's not even signed. Doesn't even have a title on the back, but it's stencil painting number something. And basically I just, you know, like I said, these ones, I started with acrylic underneath, came with, stencils. Here's some stencil work. You can see, you know, anywhere where it's like consistent and symmetrical, because drawings are symmetrical. And then I come in with enamel to finish it up, and that's not symmetrical because I break away from the solid drawn form and I just kind of wing it. That's where fun comes. That's where spontaneity comes, and it's just great. And obviously, again, I'm talking about the ultimate reality here. This is fucking what reality really looks like. This is what pure consciousness looks like. It's absurd, I know. But that's what I'm fucking doing. That's what I'm dealing with here. And it's about pure consciousness. That's what my work's about. The ultimate reality, pure consciousness, Brahman. That's it. I mean, and it's done in graffiti and psychedelic abstract art, you know? What the fuck, you know? So anyway, show you a few more of these. This one happens to be really pretty, I think. One of the prettier ones. And these, just the last one as well, I erred on the side of less. Like, I could have worked on this a little more. But I saw these. Look at this stencil here. And like how it's like this like character with these arms. And there's another fucking wacky ass shit over here. And I erred on the side of less is more. Like, I could have worked this a little more, but I said, no. Yes, I'm aware that it looks rather light. Looks perhaps to some could be unfinished. But I said, no, I'd rather have it look a little unfinished than have it overworked. Okay, next. This one stems off of my name again, the Glover tag, because this is a glove underneath here. It's 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, 4, and the thumb kind of comes up here. So it's like this. It's like the hand is like this. There, the thumb. that's basically the way the hand goes. And there's the elastic of the, it's like a gardening glove or something. I don't know. And yeah, this is another one where it just, the spray, the overspray, the stuff, it just creates amazing stuff that I never really did before. And I used to be kind of snobby about it. I didn't want to use spray paint in my oil paintings. Like, no, can't do that. Now everything's fucking on the table. Just like I said in another video, it's like everything was the name of that big painting because I brought back everything I've ever done. And it was available. Like that squiggly line shit that I was telling you about in the first one, that brought back to that everything painting. And I don't see any in here, but it says Glover here. You can see the tag underneath. But I incorporate it. Obviously, it's like the graffiti's there, but it's like, it's in the fucking, the visuals of pure consciousness, which is, again, I know it's a contradiction. It's a joke. There are no eyes to see in pure consciousness. So how are there visuals? There are, somehow. Anyway, this is light. Good. Next. This one is one that I decided that I wanted to kind of overwork. Not overwork, but work a lot. Let me make sure I'm putting this the right way. It's not signed either. It's not just like me. Shit, man. I can't even tell which is up. It's got to be this way. No, it's this way. It is this way. We got a lot going on in this here painting. It is very intense. I'm sorry about this brown or red-brown background of the, what do you call it, paper? It's like, the paper you put on the floor when you're doing like a painting job. But I have it up there because this is my dad's girlfriend's house. And if I wanted to paint, I didn't want to get shit on the walls because she'd had a shit. Or maybe she wouldn't. But anyway, this is one of my stencil paintings on the heavy end. I worked it a little bit more. More lines, more color, more contrast, more goofy shit. There's like a fucking poop emoji in here or something somewhere. I saw it just a minute ago. Yeah, here it is. It's upside down. But anyway, so next I'm going to show you a few more and try to wrap this shit up. This is the last, I think this is the last one of these I'll show. This is a vertical one, obviously, different than the last two. I liked this one again because of its lightness, because of the haziness. You see the 907 underneath. And fucking, it kind of looks like Ganesha. It kind of looks like a fucking elephant. So, this one is on the lighter end. I don't know. This is one of my favorites of these ones. And then I'll throw one more up here. I got to throw this one up because it's a 907 joint. And it's got skulls and it's got my old Joni up here. Like I was writing this in like 93, 94. And when I lived in Brooklyn, over on Bergen Street. And obviously the skulls, one is the negative of the skull, one is the positive of the skull. So that's what's good about Frisk. You got the negative and the positive when you cut it out. And here's a little outline of the Joni. Same thing, because this was a stencil as well before I painted it. So anyway, this is one of the better ones. It's a smaller one. Like how this little fucking dotty stuff goes on over here. Next, I got two more to go. And maybe just one. I think I'll call it at this. And this one is my most recent one. Or one of my, like, 2 or 3 most recent paintings. And obviously it's of the stencil variety, and 20 by 30 inches. I started this one here, again, acrylic beginning, and then stencils, spray paint, come in with the line, and that's it. I called this one hazy because it kind of looks like it's got this like smokiness because of that black and the white. I really just like how this one ended up. A lot of times I go around the outline of the stencil, right? There's my stencil. You can see it, the white stuff. And how the black and the white interact. And a lot of times I'll come with this line, right? And I'll be like, I got to outline it to emphasize it or to change it or to, direct it. But no. A lot of this is just straight stencil, and that creates some really beautiful stuff, meaning I don't come in and put an outline. So that's that. There's the last one, and thank you very much. I got a long-ass fucking video, and I'm going to put it up. All right, word up. Peace.